A healthy afternoon, everyone. I am Brother Joseph, one of the servants of Feast Quezon City. And if you are in a home quarantine, God be praised dahil kayo ang frontliner ng iyong mga magulang para tumulong sa bahay. Kaya pag naghugas kayo ng kamay, idamay nyo na rin yung plato at saka mga baso. And if you are a real frontliner, our doctors, nurse, our armed forces, and policemen and others, mabuhay po kayo. And we are praying that God protects you away from any harm. Today is Holy Monday, marks the second day of the Holy Week. As Christians, Holy Week is our annual observance in commemorating Jesus' last week on earth and the promise of salvation through His resurrection. Today, I would like to share with you the story of Jesus when He was anointed at Bethany. Alam niyo, sa storyang ito, there was an opposition and complications. That is why we call it the central conflict. In our lives, kahit gaano pa tayo kabait at masunurin, kagaya mo, magkakaroon pa rin tayo ng kalaban. We will have enemies or what we call haters. Alam nyo kung bakit? Tanong nyo sa akin kung bakit. Because everyone has its own motives. Our one big message is this: your enemies will always be there. What will you do? Let me share the passage from the book of John, chapter 12, verse 1 to 11. Please read it with me. 6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, where Lazarus lived, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. Here a dinner was given in Jesus' honor. Martha served, while Lazarus was among those reclining at the table with him. Then Mary took about a pint of pure nard, an expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. The event happened 6 days before the Passover. The Passover marks the arrest and eventually the crucifixion of Jesus. Sa kwento, there are these three characters. Una si Lazarus and his siblings Mary and Martha. If naalala niyo sa istorya kung paano binuhay ni Jesus si Lazarus pagkatapos mailibing ng 4 na araw, Lazarus was entombed for 4 days and Jesus resurrected him. Hindi niya pinainom ng resurrection plant, kung ano yung nakikita natin sa kwento ng The Kingdom ng Netflix. But it was one of the many miracles that Jesus had performed. In our passage, they honored Jesus with their hospitality by serving him with dinner. They have played their own part in serving Jesus. Si Martha siguro busy sa kitchen preparing yung kare-kare, sinigang, crispy pata at sisig. While si Lazarus naman nakakuyakoy sa upuan while drinking his dalgona coffee, nakikipagkwentuhan sa mga disciples. But Mary, obviously, she has honor. She honored God more than anyone can offer on that night through a gift, a pint of expensive perfume. How expensive is that kind of perfume? Sabi sa Bible, it is equivalent of a year salary. Nag-search ako, hindi ko napigilan. Nag-search ako sa Google for the price of pure nard perfume. And I found out na yung 30 ml, ganito kaliit, yung 30 ml will cost around 50,000 plus peso. Ganun kamahal. Tayo kaya, brothers and sisters, would we offer valuable to God today, especially in these times of crisis? I know more of our countrymen had offered their lives in this war against COVID-19. Our frontliners, and I believe their work have honored God more than any valuable things we can offer. Kung ikaw hindi man frontliner, what can you offer to God? Because in this Lent Monday, we are called to honor God and what we have. We can always start by improving our prayer time through our daily prayer and giving service to our family inside our home while naka-home quarantine, and hope we are doing that. And going back to our passage, as I have mentioned a while ago, even when we are doing good things, there will be enemies because of personal motives. Let's continue to read the passage. But of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, who was later to betray him, objected. Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It was worth a year's wages. He did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. As keeper of the money bag, he used to help himself to what was put into it. The reality in this world, brothers and sisters, and this is my message to you, your enemies will always be there. And what will you do? Sila yung mga taong naggaan yung kaibigan, pero sila pala yung Judas. Kaya mamaya pag nag-video call or nag-zoom call kayo ng mga kaibigan mo, titigan mo na mabuti. Yung screen baka nagiging kamukha na ni Judas. Sila yung mga kaibigan mong magiging parte ng iyong paglalakbay sa buhay, pero pagdating sa kagipitan at sa kuna, they will betray you. Kaya nga ang mantra ng mga jeepney driver, God knows who does not pay. In this story, Judas Iscariot will betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Kunwari, Judas is driving na sayang naman yung napakamahal na perfume, why not sell and give it to the poor? But actually, his motive is to get money out of it. Because he was a thief. At dahil naiinggit siya kay Mary for her gift to Jesus. But Jesus knows his intentions. Jesus said, "Leave her alone." Jesus replied, "It was intended that she should save this perfume for the day of my burial. You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me." Though at that time, brothers and sisters, Jesus is the only person who knows that Judas will betray him, yet he never confronted him nor criticized him in return. Instead, Jesus focuses on honoring the gift and service of Mary. In these trying times, we have a choice. We can be Judas or we can be Mary. We can be the person who will criticize others, or we can be the person who will serve others to overcome this crisis. And remember that God knows our intentions. But in our passage, hindi lang si Mary ang naka-encounter ng conflict. Well, in fact, si Lazarus had been in a watch list of chief priests. Let us read it together. Meanwhile, a large crowd of Jews found out that Jesus was there and came, not only because of him, but also to see Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. So the chief priests made plans to kill Lazarus as well, for on account of him, many of the Jews were going over to Jesus and believing in him. Ibang klase, a large crowd of Jews pumunta sa Bethany, hindi lang dahil andun si Jesus, but because andun si Lazarus. Sikat si Lazarus, dumadami ang kanyang fans. Siguro pagkatapos ng uminom ng Galdona coffee, Nagpa-autograph signing pa siya sa labas ng kanilang bahay. But the other side of the story, merong gustong pumatay kay Lazarus. And these are chief priests, a group of religious people. The question, brothers and sisters, why? Bakit gustong patayin si Lazarus? And the answer is this: because Lazarus is the living proof of the power and the miracles of Jesus. Remember, Lazarus was raised by Jesus from the dead, and because of that, many have believed in Jesus. In this time of crisis, I hope you choose to be Jesus to others. Choose to be kind, to be compassionate, and to be a giver of hope to others. Brothers and sisters, again, these are our reflection and answer to our one big message. Your enemies will always be there. What will you do? First, honor God. Just like what Mary did, she honors the Lord with a valuable gift to show her love to Him. Second, serve God. Siblings Martha, Mary, and Lazarus does it. They serve the Lord in their home. If you are in home quarantine, bring God in your home. Serve Him through prayers together with your family. Or if you are a frontliner, serve God with all your might because God's protection is with you. And third, be the living proof of Jesus' power and miracles. In this time of crisis, I hope you choose again to be Jesus to others. Choose to be kind, to be compassionate, to be a giver of hope.
I raise a hallelujah in the presence of my enemies. I raise a hallelujah louder than the unbelief. I raise a hallelujah. My weapon is a melody. I raise a hallelujah. Heaven comes to fight for me.